Hello, everybody. Welcome to Take the Black Live, the hottest, coolest, bestest Game of Thrones Fire news show on the internet. I am Dan Selke, editor of WintersComing.net. I'm here with Cheryl Wassenaar, editor of Culturist.com, and we're here to discuss all things Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire. And we really only have one topic, big one to hit today, Cheryl, on everybody's minds. They released official photos of the final season of Game of Thrones.
We made it!
We made it. It's happening.
Also, this is why Dan is talking so fast. He's very excited. He's been going nuts since this happened, basically.
I mean, it's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting. You are just very excited about it. So I'm going to just let you go.
Cool. But before that,
offer my opinions as needed.
Lovely. Before that, hello to everybody watching on Facebook and on YouTube now, streaming on YouTube. We're expanding. How exciting. Hello, Julie, Rodrigo, Jamie, Terry, Catherine, Alan, Daryl. Everybody, you came in a good day. So, we are going. Let's get the show on the road, she says. Good call. I like that, Julie. So, HBO released official images of Game of Thrones Season 8. Why don't we take a look at them now, and then we can discuss them afterward.
Fantastic.
Finally, it's just good to have something very concrete. We still don't have a trailer. We still don't have... We have like a teaser that's not... It has any footage. This is what the show will look like. And it's just good to see our guys and girls in good form.
I believe the term is swag.
Got the full beard. Unsullied behind Brienne, just noting that. Good old Tyrion, Hand of the King. All from the new season, all real, all happening, all before... I love that one. All before your eyes. And then, of course, that one.
Yeah, of
okay.
course.
So I thought we would drill down on a few of these and talk about... Because some of them kind of say more than others, I think.
Yes.
Of these images, and let us know which ones you guys are interested in. Hey, Michael Douglas, love your work. And yeah, let's talk about them together. Like,
okay.
What questions do you guys have? Like, which of these stand out to you?
Yes.
I think we have to start with the one of Jon and Dany just standing there in their winter finery, looking out at something. My question for you, Cheryl, is where are they? What are they doing?
I mean, the thing is, since it started snowing in King's Landing at the end of season 7, they could be anywhere. And I think that is in fact the point, that your winter is coming so much that this is no longer a definitive, oh, they are in the north or beyond the wall shot. It's, we don't know where they are kind of shot. Like, that could be a tree behind them, but it also could be like a rock or cliff face.
I guess so. I hadn't thought about that. I thought they were definitely in the north or even beyond the wall. That gives me a line below feeling. For one, it's interesting that both of them, or Daenerys at least, is not in the costume she is when she's in the Winterfell shot.
Yes.
That's her special beyond the wall white fur, fall collection outfit that she's wearing there.
Yes.
And it looks great. And I just, if I had to guess, make a wild, uneducated stab in the dark, I'm going to say they are either looking at Winterfell from a distance.
Okay.
Perhaps Jon's like, that's my home, here we go. Or maybe he's showing her an army of the dead, or they're singing together. Because she looks a little surprised or hesitant.
She definitely has more expression on her face than Jon Snow, who just kind of looks like, I'm looking at this thing. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible that they're looking at Winterfell, or that they're looking at something that he has seen and she is not.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's what you're getting at, I think. So yeah, I mean, obviously, also, I love that code. So
and that's like kind of the premiere. Like, that's the one that's going to be in all the kind of the posts online, the magazine covers, and the tweets, because it's the two biggest stars of the show, or two of the most popular characters sharing the screen. And the only time that happens in this batch, I think all the others are individuals.
Yep.
So it's special.
I feel like that one was probably taken around the same time they took the picture that was on the cover of Entertainment Weekly.
Totally.
Where she's like kind of feeling his chest up a little. She's like up against him a little bit. So yeah. But yeah, definitely a very important shot.
Okay, moving on. I was intrigued by the one of Sam, because again, I was thinking, Cheryl, where is he?
Where in the world is Sam Tarly? Please give me your answer.
Okay, so when I saw this picture first, I figured he's where he was in season 7. He's in Bran's room. Bran's, I don't know, doing his three-eyed raven thing. He's writing, interpreting.
Yeah.
But I'm looking behind it. There are pillars behind him, It's
Yes.
dark. There's a candle. Is he in the Winterfell crypts?
And if so, is like he's like smiling because he's about to say, John, your dad was Rhaegar Targaryen and your mom was Lyanna Stark. I'm so glad I get to give you this information, buddy.
John, the Daenerys is cute. Do I have a chance with her? Will be his follow-up question.
No, he's pretty committed to.
It's true.
He's pretty committed.
There were no Gilly pictures in this batch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was wondering that because when I looked at it, I think he is, or at least he's not in that room where Bran's hanging out doing nothing.
No.
I wonder if they do like have John. Hey, John, come with me. I got something to tell you. And then they like have to go to a secure location in the crypts.
The crypts.
I mean, those are technically secure. It's hard as you can see someone sneaking up on you.
I mean, yeah, and the Rickon and Bran hid down there way back when.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. It's deep and dark. So maybe, perhaps he's like really excited to tell him, like, John, you're the heir to the Iron Throne.
And John is like, oh,
You're not smiling. Why?
oh.
So that intrigued me. Let's see. Oh, and Julia says he's looking for a feather. Of course.
The all-important feather.
That feather, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, Jennifer agrees. Yes, the crypts. Interesting. So we'll get it. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, I wanted to look at this one of Cersei, because most of these pictures were kind of just, here's their face, here's their, like the
About
stomach
chest
up, chest up, yeah. They didn't really go for much expressionism, except for here, where I love this one, where they're isolating her complete full body, like no part of her is outside the frame, kind of in this space, in like a lonely, lofty, airy indoor space, and I just get, I'm so lonely.
Cersei Lannister is sad, you guys.
Is Cersei Lannister feeling so lonely?
You went there. You had to go there. Yes, she is feeling very lonely and sad. And the close-up picture of her is kind of similar in that she has this very like forlorn look on her face.
She does.
It's very weird because even when Cersei is mad or sad, she's usually angry at the same time. So this is a very different look and feel for her. But as always, I enjoy Cersei Lannister's costuming. There it is. Look at that face. Like, that is a sad face.
And she's on the Iron Throne there.
Yeah.
That usually gives her a lift.
I mean, both literally and emotionally. But I love the kind of the new details that are being put into her costume. We definitely went into them super in detail on the episode of
the Black Club,
Take
yeah.
the Black Club that
Or
we
on
just
the Wit
shot.
Club.
So, but long story short, she looks great, and I want all of her costumes as usual.
No, I don't blame you. And again, I just enjoyed that shot. It's one of the few times they were just like, we have to get some kind of feeling in here. Because otherwise, they're all just like, here are their faces.
Yeah.
Why don't we look quickly at,
Okay.
I believe, Jamie is up next? All right, when I take him out. Bran. Go with Bran. Okay. I liked this one because it looks like he has not moved like 3 feet since we left him in season 7. I think he's stayed there the whole time, contemplating things, looking into a fire like Melisandre, and just plowing into the past and the future.
I mean, doesn't he still have to, like...
Does he?
I don't know. This is not a question I wanted to contemplate. The question that I can't finish is, but if he hasn't moved, how does he go to the bathroom?
Such things are below the concerns of a three-eyed raven.
I don't know, man. You're talking about birds here. Okay. Birds are
Three-eyed
very...
ones.
Okay, mythical birds. Fine. But the more I look at that picture, the more I realize that his hands, because of the way it's shot, look like they're like the same size as his head. And now I can't unsee that, and I'm sorry to make all of you see that.
As Corey Smith says, Bran has old man hands.
Also an accurate descriptor.
But yeah, they do look huge and gnarled. But then again, it's appropriate because he is an old soul now with many old things on his mind.
Okay.
And there's a lot more pictures. We go over some of them on Take the Black Club, on the Wit Club. But yeah, it's just great to have official stuff coming out so we can pour over it and analyze it.
Yeah, and both Dan and I did yell about it, basically, on Winter is Coming and Culturist. So if you want more analysis, it's where to find us. That and take the Black Club, obviously.
So the pictures are the biggest story to come out of today. I mean, they came out literally an hour and a half before we started filming this.
Yes.
But, I mean, it actually was sort of a big week for Game of Thrones. Did you happen to watch the Super Bowl?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I did.
Were you expecting what happened next to happen?
Nope.
If by some chance you didn't watch the Super Bowl this past weekend,
Yes.
there was a pretty fun commercial that aired, which we will now play for you so we can all enjoy it together.
Oh, boy.
Is there audio?
It's a beautiful day for a joust.
Indeed. Sun's out. Got my lucky loincloth cold Bud Light, comfy throne. I don't have the plague anymore.
Look, it's the Bud Knight.
Dilly dilly!
All right, let's tap this keg. Giddy up, Peanut.
Dilly Dilly is dead. Long live the mountain.
So let's just back up for a second and just say what happened. So HBO and Anheuser-Busch team up, and Bud Light gives them permission to murder their mascot on a commercial, which, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know, a little fun tidbit. So Bud Light and HBO get together to make that commercial for the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And Bud Light, I didn't know this. Apparently the Bud Knight is like a long-running mascot of theirs.
Yes.
Who, like, it's a knight, and he advertises buds. Have them. Enjoy them.
Yes.
And they're like, we would rather not kill our mascot. And I want to quote the HBO executive here. The Bud Knight has to die, was their...
Thank you, HBO executive. You have my undying gratitude. Yeah, no, this whole
Really?
campaign...
You didn't like the Bud Knight?
No. This whole campaign, this campaign was funny once, a long time ago.
How long has it been going on?
A few years. Like, it's basically inescapable if you watch football, as I do frequently.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. The fact that the Mountain just murked the Bud Knight and then Drogon
In a horrible way. I mean...
The fact that the Mountain murked the Bud Knight and then Drogon lit the king on fire was a highlight for me.
I mean, can you imagine if, like, there's a team between, like, Game of Thrones and McDonald's, and, I don't know, Arya, like, slit Ronald McDonald's throat in a throne room? It wouldn't fly.
Horrible!
I know, so is this. That was very, very brutal.
I mean, but they cut away. That's the thing.
They do. That's very nice of them.
Yeah.
They don't show us the Bud Knight's gouging eyes and teeth cut
They
on
just
the
go
floor.
for the meme. You know, how the dilly dilly guy just
By the way, that was a note from Benioff and Weiss, who said you need to have somebody doing the Ilaria Sand scream.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's great.
Oh yeah, it was fun. And also, the whole thing was directed by David Nutter, who directed The Red Wedding.
Yes. It's great.
So the commercial's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
But frankly, the bigger takeaway is they're going all in for marketing for this final season. They're
You
going
almost
to...
have to.
I mean, that's my question. Like, I don't think they do have to. I think they could kind of... If they wanted to, they don't, obviously. They could rest on their laurels and still have record views. But they're just going to spend a ton of money. Super Bowl ads, man. That doesn't come cheap. And it's just the beginning. They're also going to have a campaign, HBO, to promote Game of Thrones Season 8. They are going to hide Iron Thrones around the world to have a worldwide scavenger hunt.
That's great.
I think it's pretty cool.
It's pretty great.
And then, I'm curious to hear what you think of this one. They're going to have a Game of Thrones blood drive with the tagline, what was it?
Would you bleed
Would
for the
you
throne?
bleed for the throne? Is that too much? Is that too intense?
That's hardcore.
It really kind of is.
I mean, yes. I think it's good that they're using the social their cachet to do like a social good. Blood donations
That's a good
are
point,
important.
yeah.
That sort of thing. And like to your earlier point about they didn't have to actually do any advertising, I would actually disagree with you there. And I would point to, as I often do, Star Wars. So Solo had a really, really terrible marketing campaign way back last year. It is partially blamed for the fact that Solo did not do very well at the box office, or not as well as people were expecting, perhaps, is a better way to put that. But the fact of the matter is, I think HBO realizes that, sure, we could do nothing and still probably get a quadrillion views and many dollars, but the more we hype it, the more eyeballs we get on it. I mean, sure, this year's Super Bowl was one of the lowest rated in like the past 10 years.
It is.
But that's still
It's all
like
freaking people.
100 million eyeballs on, well, 200 million eyeballs, but 100 million people watching your ad.
That's insane.
So that's 100 million people who might be like, I should subscribe to HBO because it's back in April, and I need to catch up. I need to rewatch all the episodes.
And then crucially, what I also read to say is it's not just about hyping Game of Thrones season 8. It's about getting them signed up for HBO and then getting them to watch their other stuff too, and then hopefully keep HBO after Game of Thrones is over. Is the idea what they're going for here?
You got it.
So I mean, I'm not a marketing expert. Like,
Me neither.
There's just part of me. It's like, who cares? People will watch. But yeah, like the bigger picture, macro thing.
Yeah.
Sure, hide Iron Thrones around the world, take people's blood, have them out, kill the Bud Knight, which again is not just like beyond being kind of cool. It's a fun, kind of a irreverent way to market, which I do appreciate.
Yeah.
Like they're clearly willing to have fun.
Yeah.
And laugh at themselves.
I think it is pretty great. And I think, I think they've performed two social goods. They're going to have people donate blood, and they've killed the Bud Knight.
Okay, apparently you hate the Bud Knight.
I have strong feelings about advertising.
All right. Well, those are the two. There's actually quite of little like cast members like talking like, oh, season 8's going to be groundbreaking. But the second all those pictures came out, I was like, nah, I don't care.
We were out.
You got any other insights into the current state of Game of Thrones show before we bring on Josh Hill for A Song of Dan and Josh?
Dan, I think I'm Game of Thrones out, at least for this week. I will see you all next week.
It was an intense afternoon.
It was an intense afternoon.
Okay.
And I'm going to go start beginning to come down from the high of looking at all those pictures.
All right, we're going to be back with us in a second with A Song of Dan and Josh. So stay tuned for a moment.
Oh, Ned Stark, will you ever learn? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm Dan Selke, the editor at winteriscoming.net, your one-stop shop for all things Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, and genre fiction in general. We here at Wick love bringing you news, reviews, and editorial content, and we're going to keep doing all that stuff. However, for the especially hardcore among you, we're going to start offering even more. Welcome to the Wick Club. The Wick Club is a Patreon-funded effort to provide fantasy and sci-fi fans with even more Wick content. You can join at several levels. For $1 a month, you can enter into monthly swag giveaways and get to read extra columns. At $4, you'll get to watch extra episodes of Take the Black Live, our weekly chat show, with topics chosen by you. Please be gentle. And at the Valyrian Steel level, that's $10 a month, you get Wick Club t-shirts and access to a new segment we're calling Drinking and Knowing Things, a monthly live stream where I drink wine and talk with all of you in a free-flowing conversation about Game of Thrones, fantasy, sci-fi, and whatever else comes up after I've had a few. Just to be clear, we're not going to stop doing anything on Wick we already do, and we're hoping to add more stuff anyway. The Wick Club is a way to produce even more content, and hopefully to get to know some of you better. You can find links to more information below. We hope to see you in the Wick Clubhouse. Valor Morgulis, bottoms up, and thanks for watching.
Welcome back, and we are here with Fansided's own Josh Hill.
Hello, everybody.
Exactly. All right, Josh. So it's been 2 weeks.
It has been.
And this is Song of Dan and Josh. This is the show where you and I, me, somebody who's read the Song of Fire books a lot, and you, someone who has seen the show but has not read the books, go through them chapter by chapter, educating ourselves and, enriching our literary backlog, our literary catalog.
Right. Reading is cool.
Reading is cool.
It is.
And I mean, who better to be ambassadors for that than us? We're very cool people.
Right.
You're wearing contacts.
I am wearing contacts. Contacts are cool.
They are.
Everything's cool.
Anyway, today we're still on A Clash of Kings, the second book in the series.
Yeah.
And I believe we read the first Bran chapter, Bran 1.
Yep, you did.
Okay.
It's trippy.
Okay, go with that. What about it was trippy?
Well, I got like
And was it good? Was that a good thing?
Well, I got like a Seinfeld impression from it. It was a chapter about
Really?
nothing. It was like nothing
Yes.
happened.
Nothing happened.
But a lot happened because Bran was tripping out the whole time about being a dire wolf and running with his pack and everything like that. Like, it was very metaphorical
it was
and metaphysical. Like, it was a lot going on. And it was kind of Bran grappling with the reality of being crippled in reality. And then in his dreams, he can be whatever he wants to be. But also, George R. R. Martin was setting up the fact that he's going to be this mystical figure, too.
Yeah, like I think one of the very first lines is it's about Bran. He could not walk, nor climb, nor hunt, nor fight with a wooden sword as once he had, but he could still look.
Yep.
This is Bran on his windowsill. I think the entire chapter takes place in his little bedroom, looking out at Winterfell at night. And just the idea that he can't do any of that anymore, but he can still look. And as we know, he's going to become this figure who can literally look into the past, into the future, anywhere he wants, spy on people, even though maybe he shouldn't. And yeah, so I think that's a clear step to where he's going.
Yeah.
Eventually, he will literally be like the looker, the watcher type person. I mean, Bran chapters, or especially this Bran chapter, is a bit of a challenge for me because it is all, again, nothing happened in this chapter, not at all. Like Bran, we get reintroduced to him. He talks about his feelings. There's some weird imagery, but there's zero plot momentum.
No.
Which, I mean, how do you feel about that? Is it okay
Well, it
just
was
to kind
character
of
building.
relax?
Yeah, I felt it was character building. We were learning more about Bran, and we were going in the inner workings of how he's dealing with this thing that he's dealing with, which is being crippled and having to basically find a new plan in life. Like, how is he going to go about his life? Everything is completely different. That's why we've got reality and we've got the dream, and they're two totally different things. What is he going to do now that everything he thought he was going to be and everything he could be no longer is the case?
It is rough for an 8-year-old.
Yeah. But he's going to go to often to be so much more, which is, a fun little
Just gotta
coda under
trust in it. How he deals with it is he literally howls at the moon.
Yep.
Which
As you do.
you do. I mean, if you're an 8-year-old kid and you're very close to your wolf child, he just sits still and howls at the moon.
Yep.
And I like that. I mean, he seems like a bit of a. It's understandable because he's lost the use of his legs. It's very hard, but his guard comes in, Maester Luwin comes in.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Bran, what are you doing? It's 4 a.m. You stop howling. And he just keeps doing it. And then there's one bit where it's Maester Luwin leaves with a look that was part grief and part disgust because this kid is annoying them.
Yeah.
This kid he's in charge of Winterfell. He can't use his legs anymore. He is, he's cooped up and it's difficult and he's having weird dreams and he's just trying to do what the best an 8-year-old can, and that means howling at the moon at 4 o'clock in the morning and just annoying everybody. Do you feel bad for him, or do you feel with Maester Luwin, who's like, God, just freaking kid?
I feel bad for him. Like, he's not necessarily mopey, although he is pretty mopey, but not in like a sad way. It's like he's clearly working through this. Like, I'm sympathetic towards him.
It is a big thing to work through.
Yeah.
I didn't lose my
That's an
legs when I was 8.
understatement. Yeah. Yes. Losing use of your legs is a very, very difficult thing to work through. That is. But no, I'm sympathetic towards his cause because it's like, look, what is he going to do now? And it's like such a lonely thing. He's sitting alone in his room at night, looking out at the world that he can no longer be a part of the way that he thought he was once going to. As his brother is at the wall, or his half-brother is at the wall.
Secret cousin, whatever.
Yeah, being part of the Night's Watch. And you got Robb, who's out and leading armies and doing all of this
and
stuff.
he has Rickon the baby.
Yeah, and even
he
Arya.
basically has to like watch.
Yeah, and even Arya and Sansa are out doing things. And he's stuck.
Being captured.
Well, and Arya's a badass. She's going out and she's going to be what Bran wanted to be but can't.
Right.
And Sansa is working her way up the hierarchy of royalty slowly and maybe not. Well, I mean,
right now she's more just,
she's learning the skills that is one day going to make her become the Sansa that I guess I've come to know on the show.
Sure.
So it's tough. I'm really sympathetic towards him. It's a really sad, depressing place for him to be in, literally in the dark, alone in his room.
It is. I mean, it's fun because it is very sad, but the way it's written, I don't know, it does. he's still a kid, and there's still some frivolity in there, like the howling and stuff. What do you think about? There's some stuff in here that isn't in the book. Like right now at Winterfell, there are 2 kids. In the first book, Catelyn talks to Walder Frey. He's like, you can cross the bridge, but you have to do this, and this.
Yeah.
One of the things he said is you have to take these 2 grandsons of mine, Little Walder and Big Walder, who of course are the opposite with the size, and go foster them at Winterfell, which is a thing that happened.
Yep.
I was surprised to find that because they were not in the books or in the show.
In the show, yeah, I was surprised to find that. I was trying to rack my memory and see if I had
they're
missed another
definitely
detail,
new.
But okay.
And sort of like Walder Frey or anybody from that family, they're kind of douches. They're
douches.
Yeah, okay, they're douches. They're playing this game. I forget what it was called, like Cross the Bridge or something, where basically just stand there and just cross the bridge. The game is I knock you into the muddy river and then you don't cross, which is like, kind of a douchey kid's game. Rickon enjoys it because he's like a 4-year-old and he's just really into being thwapped around and thwapping people.
He likes mud.
He likes mud, and they all like it. Bran, again, it's hard for Bran because he's like the guy, I can't do that. Bran like has to be the 8-year-old adult in the room who's like, you can't hit the baby. Stop that. That's cruel. And I don't think he likes that, but he is in charge of Winterfell now. He is... Everybody older than him is gone.
Yeah.
So he's the oldest Stark, even though he's 8, and he cannot play the stupid douchey river crossing game with his little brother, and he can't move at all. So yeah, you're right. It is a tough spot.
Well, that is why it's depressing, because it's a stupid game that they're playing. They're literally just knocking each other in the mud, but he can't do it. And that's affected. Like, that guy has an effect on him. It's like even something as simple and as stupid as knocking another person into the mud and laughing at them because they didn't cross a fictional bridge that you're talking about. He can't do it. So he has to then come in and try and be the adult at 8. So he's all of a sudden in this place where he's not supposed to be. It's just, I don't know.
I think there was a line like, okay, fair, good. I'm glad because I didn't. I feel bad. There was even a line that was like, I could knock them both into the mud. Stupid idiots. Like, if I were having my legs, it'd be
It's
fun.
like, well, but you can't, Bran. So I don't know. I don't know.
So
Sit down for this.
So the other part of the chapter is the trippy stuff.
Yes.
So again, and
My favorite part.
that's kind of always okay. Well, what happened? So at one point, I forget. Someone just asks, "Do trees dream?"
Yes.
And then Bran replies, "They do." Bran said with sudden certainty, "They dream tree dreams. I dream of a tree sometimes, a weirwood like the one in the Gods Wood. It calls to me. The wolf dreams are better. I smell things. Sometimes I can taste blood." Is that funny, creepy, stupid? What?
All of the above. It is all of the above. It reminds me of that the episode of The Simpsons where Homer goes on like some vision quest and he meets like Johnny Cash is like the fox
coyote
or whatever,
thing.
the coyote, yeah. And it like reminded me of that where Bran's just trying to escape from reality and he's trying to find himself within himself. I mean, he's crippled. Homer couldn't make chili that was hot enough, or
That was
ate
hard for
chili
him,
that was
right.
too hot. So I mean, apples and bananas here, but it reminded me of that because and even with the wolf metaphor here, he's like running with a pack. He's all alone in reality because everybody's gone. He can't run, and he's doing both of those things. Yeah, and he's also trying to find he's trying to find a plan. He's trying to find everybody that is supposed to be around him. And it was really, I don't know, it was a touching vision to me because it really went inside of what he's thinking and what he's going through. And it proved that there's something inside there that's going to become something. He's not just this crippled 8-year-old kid who's going to be upset about not being able to get pushed in the mud. He's a lot deeper than that, and that's what that told me.
Yeah, and I mean, and again, with the wolf bits, he dreams he's inside Summer, his wolf, and he's running around. Part of him knew that it was only a dream, but even the dream of walking was better than the truth of his bedchambers, walls and ceiling and door, which again is kind of his challenge. I think the problem for me is that, I mean, like with something like Arya, like I've never, had to pass myself off as another gender to hide the fact that I'm a secret noble and, get my way back to my house. But I can understand kind of better her predicament. Like she has, assholes who are trying to step to her and she has to like kick them in the balls to get them to stop. Like it's harder for me to wrap my head around. Bran's problem is he would rather possess his wolf in dreams than deal with his difficult life. I think it's a tricky sell for Martin to like sell the drama of these Bran chapters in a way that you can sell the drama of an Arya chapter where kind of the danger is immediate, or a Sansa chapter where it's
Yeah.
all about like, if I say the wrong thing, I'll be hurt. Like, I can get that more, but apparently it's working for you. Like you're saying that
Yeah.
I guess you get Bran's struggle. Maybe
I do.
you have something in your past. Well, I know where we're going with that. Go on.
Yeah, I wish I was a wolf. No, I mean they're
8-year-old
different
Josh.
chapters too, and that's the thing that what gets to me too. I don't want them all to be Arya and have Arya's type of struggle. I think that it differentiates the Stark siblings to show that they are related to each other, but they each are dealing with the same thing differently. They have the same end game, which is Bran just wants everybody to be back at Winterfell. He wants everything to be back to normal. Arya wants
legs.
Yeah, he wants to walk again. And Arya is the same thing. She wants Ned back. She wants her family back. She wants things to go back to the way that they were. She's going about it in a different way because she has to deal with her realities. And Bran is going about it in his own way because he has to deal with his realities. He has the luxury of being, I mean, I know I said it's depressing, and it is, but he, in a way, has the luxury of being alone in his bedroom, safe, looking out at the night, and Arya doesn't. So she has to approach her situations a lot differently than Bran does. So I think naturally one of them will have to fight, and I agree with you. I have no idea what it would be like to be Arya. I also have no idea what it would be like to be Bran, but I believe both of them.
It's just easier for me to latch on to like an Arya or a Sansa or a Jon or a Tyrion.
I agree with that,
because their problems aren't wolf dreams. But I mean, again, I'm glad that you are that you're sympathetic to Bran and it's working for you.
Also, the line about do trees dream tree dreams or whatever. I don't know why that made me think of do androids dream of electric sheep?
Oh, totally.
I was like, oh,
I
see what you're doing there, George.
I'm not even sure. Yeah, I wouldn't put it
That's a
past Martin
callback.
to be on purpose
That's a
because
callback.
he's a total nerd. He reads all the sci-fi and fantasy,
Oh, yeah.
so sure. It's Dick, right? Philip K. Dick?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. I mean, and Martin has said that the Bran chapters are the hardest to write, and I think this is kind of the reason why, because you have to be an 8-year-old boy, which he's forgotten to be, and also it's just so kind of mystical metaphysically.
Yep.
We also got more folk talking about the comet. Everybody has their own idea.
Yep.
What does Osha say?
She said
What's the comet mean? Blood and fire, boy,
Yeah.
nothing sweet. And old Nan just says, dragons. It be dragons, boy.
Dragons, boy.
She got it. Good old Nan.
She did.
And actually, just a little side note, because I remember this thing. They gave that line to Osha in the show. I think Old Nan was been written out by this point.
Huh.
Because maybe the elderly are hard to employ or something.
This is when they should have written her out. I could have won her an Emmy. Whoever played
Dragons,
Old Nan.
they be dragons,
Yeah,
boy.
could you imagine? Be like whoever played Nan, and they like say her name, and then it cuts to that clip. It be dragons, boy.
It'd be a good one.
Everybody claps.
I mean,
she nods. And,
Who was in the first season? She had a really good
Yeah.
scene with Bran by his bedside, but I don't know. I guess they cut her out for the next season, and she don't come back. Okay, finally, before we wrap up, really quick, some vocab stuff.
vocab.
Okay, Castellan is the governor of a castle. So the Starks are gone. They leave a Castellan in charge, who's some dude, and then a wen, an abnormal growth or a cyst protruding from a surface, especially of the skin. Bran's guard had like a giant wen on his nose. I was like, what the hell is a wen?
Less into that one than I was the first one, but
Well, it's fun. I never heard that.
neither have I.
You know, boil, pimple, scab,
Wen.
whatever. Sure. Wen. Bring that back. Any other thoughts you have about this chapter, John? Bran 1?
No, it was trippy. I'm into the trippy fever dream chapters because we had the Catelyn one
You
in
are-
the
you
first
like that.
book. I don't know why. It's a nice little break from the realities of the Game of Thrones.
Well, next we're getting back to reality in a big way with the second Arya chapter in Clash of Kings. We will be reading that next Wednesday here at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Winter's Coming Facebook page and also the Winter's Coming YouTube page. Thanks
right.
for watching, everybody, across both mediums, and we will see you next Wednesday. Adios.